Just after 5 o'clock on Tuesday, the 6th of May. Welcome inside the channel. I'm bobtrosset. As always, this is where I bring you Baltimore sports and beyond. And tonight's episode is brought to you by my friends at Preston Automotive Group. I'm sorry I'm running about 15 minutes behind. It's for good reason. I just found some interesting tidbits on a potential projected extension, a projected contract extension for 31-year-old Derrick Henry. And I think you're going to be really, really interested in terms of where he is valued at this point in his career, especially when you stack him up against the other NFL running back elites. So that and a whole lot more, including what this title is all about. Mike Florio ripping the Ravens for their handling of Justin Tucker's release and the statement that they provided yesterday across social media platforms, including an undrafted rookie who showed up and showed out, apparently, based on reports at rookie minicamp, has been signed, and he is a cornerback. So we'll get into all three of those topics and more coming up. Please like the video on the way in, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and hit that notification bell. By now, I think it's pretty clear and obvious, and everyone's in the know, that Justin Tucker's career has come and gone. He is no longer a Baltimore Raven. He was released yesterday, and while I will not continue to harp on this, this was the statement released by the team. Sometimes football decisions are incredibly difficult, and this is one of those instances. Considering our current roster, we have made the tough decision to release Justin Tucker. Justin created many significant and unforgettable moments in Ravens history. His reliability, focus, drive, resilience, and extraordinary talent made him one of the league's best kickers for over a decade. We are grateful for Justin's many contributions while playing for the Ravens. We sincerely wish him and his family the very best in this next chapter of their lives. So the next chapter is on deck for Justin and his family, as is the case for the Ravens, who drafted Tyler Loop in the 6th round, the kicker out of Arizona, who will now succeed the most accurate kicker of all time. They do have a Wyoming undrafted rookie in there as well to give him a chance. He was an open invite, open tryout during minicamp weekend this past week, and so he is in the building as well. So that's where things are right now. There's been a lot of blowback. There's obviously the Ravens have caught a decent amount of flack for the way that they've handled this. Ultimately, they had to protect their asses. They had to protect themselves with the messaging, with the jargon, with the language that was used in this, given the fact that the NFL continues to investigate something that is ongoing, something that is lingering when it comes to the Justin Tucker situation. 16 different massage therapists in and around Baltimore, 8 different spas, 8 different parlors, whatever you want to call it, have made these accusations. And so the NFL is digging. The NFL, I'm sure, is going through this thoroughly. And that put the Ravens in a position where instead of having to wait for the National Football League to complete this investigation, they had to move forward. And that's exactly what they did, not only draft weekend, particularly on day 3, but also with this decision that was announced yesterday. Mike Florio for Pro Football Talk, one of many that took direct aim at the Ravens for the way that they handled this, the messaging that went into it, so on and so forth. Listen to this.
Reasons for the Ravens to tiptoe around the idea, and they didn't even tiptoe. Like, they went so far over the top, and they're getting dragged for it, as they arguably should, because the statement, you saw it on the screen.
Yeah.
It's a little too flowery and a little too tone deaf and a little too deliberately ignorant of what's going on. Sometimes football decisions are incredibly difficult, and this is one of those instances. Considering our current roster, we have made the tough decision to release Justin Tucker. Justin created many significant and unforgettable moments in Ravens history. His reliability, focus, drive, resilience, and extraordinary talent made him one of the league's best kickers for over a decade. We are grateful for Justin's many contributions. While playing for the Ravens, we sincerely wish him and his family the very best in this next chapter of their lives.
They sold this hard, though, right?
They sold it hard.
Yeah, football decisions.
Football decisions.
This is one of those, this our current roster. We have made tough decisions, right?
After we drafted his replacement.
Right.
So, the first time we've ever drafted a kicker in franchise history. Yes, our current roster. Sorry, it's like it happened randomly. Right?
Yeah, right.
You picked the kicker in round 6. You knew what you were doing. And I think they've known, Chris, what they were doing from day one.
Right.
From day one.
Right.
And this is where the commitment to the strategy can create a PR problem. And maybe they accept it because, really, in this day and age, if you get dragged on social media, by the next morning, everyone's forgotten it.
Yeah.
Because there's another thing that drives attention.
Yeah.
And that attracts outrage, especially when you've got one person in the country who is a constant fountain of it. There's always something for someone to get upset about, so they'll forget about the thing they're upset with you about. So, I don't know, maybe they accepted. Late Monday afternoon, I'm surprised they didn't wait till Friday. Late Monday afternoon, right around 5 o'clock, drop the turd in the punch bowl and run. And you're going to get blowback because it does seem tone deaf. And to those who think the Ravens were tone deaf, they weren't. They were plugging their ears.
Yeah.
They knew what they were doing.
Right.
They knew what they couldn't say.
Mike Florio, not mincing words, as you could hear there, and you heard deliberately ignorant is how he's referring to the decision that went into the statement, the wording, what he refers to as tone deaf or literally plugging their ears. Look, I got to be honest with you. To me, this is nitpicking. It is. That does not diminish the credibility, right? The integrity of these 16 accusations that are very serious. I don't in any way mean to diminish that whatsoever, right? Not taking away, not discrediting anything. Ravens are in a tough position. And ultimately, they made a business decision. They made whatever you want to call it. They made a number of decisions when making just one, right? It was a business decision. It was a football decision. May have been a PR decision, right? Perhaps a moral decision, but they wait with their hands crossed, with their, right? We all wait. And any other team that's out there that's kicker needy right now waits for the NFL to finalize its investigation into Justin Tucker. And so you just got to a point with mandatory minicamp not far around the bend, with OTAs not far whatsoever around the corner, that you had to move forward. And the Ravens chose to do so when they drafted Tyler Loop. They are moving forward. There is not a chance that Tyler would have been set up for success with Justin still around the building, with the media frenzy that would have created, and the multitude of dynamics that would have made that situation very, very, very challenging to deal with as a rookie. The financial impact of this, as we discussed yesterday, is a post-June 1 designation. That's a post-June 1 release. So Justin will remain on the Ravens books through May. And that's at a $7 million number. And then there you have it right there, as we discussed again a little bit yesterday as we were instantly reacting to it. This carries dead cap hits of $2.87 million in 25 and $4.64 million in 26. So they're going to pick up, the Ravens will, $4.2 million of cap savings come June. So that's the latest. And that's the financial ramifications of what this move means. Again, it's caught a lot of flack. It's a highly emotional, hot button item, as you would expect. But the Ravens took a step yesterday to moving forward, and at this point can really wash their hands clean of what's become a major cloud, a significantly dark cloud throughout this offseason. And unfortunately for Justin, now he awaits his fate with the league, and ultimately for him, if he ends up serving some sort of punishment, I would think there's going to be some punishment by the league. He ends up serving that. It would not surprise me if there's another organization somewhere out there that's either kicker needy or feels like they can absolutely improve in terms of what they currently have in their special teams department. Why not take a flyer on Justin? We've seen it before. I think we could see it again. Would not surprise me whatsoever. Appreciate you guys for being with me on this Tuesday. Plenty to discuss, plenty to tell you about, including some really interesting figures that I'm excited to share that I just listened to from Spot Rack on a potential projected contract extension for Ravens running back Derrick Henry and the new corner that just signed a short while ago. But first, this episode is brought to you by my friends at Preston Automotive Group. And you guys know, Bobby Baltimore subscribers get a couple of exclusive offers that are available to you right now in any Preston Automotive dealership. You get $500 towards a newer pre-owned vehicle if you let them know that I sent you. Or when you buy 4 tires, you'll receive 50% off your alignment. You can go to PrestonMotor.com. There's a specific link right now that brings you to my landing page. That's at the top of the show notes. There's also a pinned comment right now with that specific link. And there you can find over 2,000 vehicles to choose from. You got to love the available inventory section when you're just kind of sifting through the internet. Home delivery is available as well. By the way, if you're not in the Maryland area, these are still available to you. These incentives, fair game. They ship across the country, does Preston. When you shop with Preston, you're joining a trusted team serving Baltimore and beyond. Cars cost less with Preston. You can get started today by visiting PrestonMotor.com. And if you click that link, it brings you right over to my landing page. There's the boy. And here are the boys' specials. All right, I'll stop doing third person before you guys start cringing. Here are the deals. Brad is an internet advisor, sort of a 24/7 live chat guy that you can DM back and forth with to get some simple information taken care of. You can contact Preston by filling out this form. You can also, again, go to the available inventory section and really start getting creative. Over 3,600 vehicles to shop from right now. Search by make, model, keyword, price, vehicle condition, year, make. I mean, look at this. What about the location? A bunch to choose from. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All throughout Maryland, all throughout Delaware, even into Virginia as well. Again, you can go to different dealerships as well. Plenty. Body style, color, fuel type. It's an awesome website to navigate. Thank you to Preston Automotive for the continued support. Go check them out, guys, if you're interested in getting on the road. And a special thanks to them for the continued support, allowing me to build up this channel. We all remember not long after the Super Bowl was won by the Philadelphia Eagles, they went ahead, Howie Roseman and company, and rocked the boat of the running back market. They rewarded their guy, Saquon Barkley, with a 2-year, $41.2 million contract extension. He is the highest paid running back in NFL history. It's over $20 million per year, okay? He's also got the ability to earn an additional $15 million in incentives and escalators. It's $36 million fully guaranteed at signing, as Adam Schefter reported back in March. Massive move. Significant types of payday here for Saquon Barkley. Very deserving. A historic year. The NFL's rushing leader. And if it weren't for him going off, we'd probably be talking a lot more about Derrick Henry. We certainly are here in town. Plenty of it. But nationally, I think, in terms of just how special Derrick's year was. And Derrick is now 31. Why do I refresh you on the Saquon Barkley deal? Well, Derrick Henry is potentially up for an extension. And when I say potentially, he is due a contract extension. He has earned a contract extension. The Ravens signed him to a 2-year, $16 million deal. Okay? He has a base salary coming up in 25 of $6 million. His base salary last year was just over $1.2 million. At 31, what Derrick is doing is nothing short of pure excellence, stamina, longevity, and what he did last year for a Ravens offense that was already lethal without him was even more significant because he put him through the roof. He finished with over 1,900 rushing yards, 16 touchdowns. His yards per carry, just friggin' astronomical. I mean, come on. Look at this. He's ridiculous. Yards per rush, 10.2. Yards per game, 113. And by the way, let me be clear. Yards per attempt, yards per carry was 5.9. Okay, to say he had an impactful season for the Ravens is one of the understatements that I've ever heard. So I want you to listen to Spot Rack, Mark Giannotti, who is all things salary cap, who's all things financial when it comes to the league. And I want you to listen to his projected contract extension that he feels like and that he thinks the Spot Rack algorithm, based on their mathematics, based on their analytics that they have in place, values Derrick Henry at. And spoiler alert, as you can see on the screen right now, it's a hefty number. We'll get over to the highest paid running backs in just a second after this clip. But listen to the mathematics, listen to the reasoning. Hear from Mark.
If you believe that Derrick Henry can be Derrick Henry through 2025 and in 2026, then you simply just match what the rest of the league has been doing, which is to take 1 for 7, you rip it up, and you make it 2 for 36. You put him on 18 a year, which is where he should have been in the first place, by the way. And you guarantee almost 20 million of that, because that's the percent you guaranteed on his original contract, which was 2 for 16. The cap has spiked. The cash has spiked. The minimum salaries have spiked. Everything about this league has gone up. Saquon Barkley has now dragged the running backs, I guess, air quote, hypothetically, into the 20 million per year mark. And we have some significant contracts now in the books. Is this back pay? It's not. This is actually mathematically what our algorithm says Derrick Henry is worth. 18 million a year at 31 and a half years old. So pay him it. Are you actually paying him 36 million? Of course not. Okay. Can you incentive base 20% of this? Probably. And make him prove that he can still go out there and get to those kind of numbers. It's a big jump up. But that's the number. This is what it would take. A 1 for 20 that's built into a 2 for 36. Okay? And you can make 17 million of that this year, and you can make the remainder of that next year if you want in 19 million. Half of that guaranteed. And if you need to buy him out or trade him on that price, you do it. But I think this is what it would take as a stepping stone for this organization to steer a little bit away from that Bengal stink and a little bit more towards that Eagles smell, which is, for obvious reasons, about as strong as it's been coming out of Philadelphia on the heels of the Super Bowl.
Okay. That right there, the reasoning, 31-year-old Derrick Henry, according to the Spot Rack algorithm, is valued at a per year rate of $18.5 million. Okay. I know some of you are out there thinking, well, where the hell are the Ravens going to get that? Let's take a look at right now where running backs in terms of salary rankings on a per year average annual value basis falls. Saquon, of course, just reset things. He is at $20.6 million per year. That is a contractual average on a yearly value. Christian McCaffrey then comes in at 19. He's been banged up in recent seasons. And then there's a drop off to Jonathan Taylor at $14 million. Alvin Kamara is at $12.25. And Josh Jacobs rounds out the top 5 at $12 million. Where's Derrick? Let's find Derrick. There he is. Tied for 12th with DeAndre Swift at $8 million. one of these things and one of these names in this section right here, with all due respect to Derek's peers, are unlike the other. Meaning the King, while yes, an enigma, an outlier, a unicorn, he is worth more, and a whole heck of a lot more, than $8 million per year. He's still got it. He is as chiseled as you can possibly be. He continues to prove doubters wrong. His yards after contact are astronomical. And what he does for Baltimore's offense is, again, nothing short of excruciating to try and stop when you're an opposing defensive coordinator, opposing defensive tackles, opposing anything. Anything that opposes Derrick Henry becomes a big challenge. And so while it might be scary to view him as somebody that is just south of Christian McCaffrey at $18.5 million, I buy it. I'm not surprised. I get it. Live chat is reacting accordingly, right? You're not giving him that much. If you're in a winner go home mode right now, Super Bowl or bust mode, and your offense, when firing on all cylinders and not falling up short in January, is the way that it has been and can be and is absolutely capable of dominating, don't you want to keep that intact for the next couple of years? There's no question that Saquon Barkley's extension muddied the water here. And I'd have to think that is one of the reasons why this is lingering. Do I think they're going to find a way to get him to 18.5? I get it. That's rich. That's steep. But what about if you can get him comfortably between Jonathan Taylor and Christian McCaffrey? What if you can find him, meet him in the middle? If 18.5 is similar to what Derrick and his representation are chasing down, but the Ravens, knowing that they're in this cap-strapped era right now with the amount of pure talent that they have under sizable contracts, coupled with Derrick's priorities at this point in his career. Yes, he wants to be compensated for his services, but we all know what Derrick's searching for, and one of the biggest reasons why he teamed up with Lamar to begin with. They're both chasing that elusive trophy, that elusive Lombardi. So can there be some middle ground found between 2 and 3? And you still vault Derrick into the category of the 15 to 16 range. Is that something that's possible? I think so. I think what we all know, what we all feel pretty darn confident about, is that should he continue to avoid this running back wall, Ravens are going to want to do every gosh darn thing to ensure that he finishes his career in Baltimore. Because what I've seen gives me reason to believe that cliff, it's not there. You can't see the cliff. You can't see signs of the cliff. And my God, does he bring this offense to a new level? 2 Hall of Famers. One who's in the prime of his career. One who, I don't even know if it's fair to say that Derrick's on the back 9 because he's that much of an outlier. But you would think he only has a few more years left. But then again, this dude's different. And we have had a front row seat to exactly that. On to the latest undrafted rookie signing. It's Keon Martin, a raging Cajun, cornerback, undrafted. He has been signed after a successful rookie minicamp, according to Aaron Wilson, former Baltimore reporter. Let's learn a little bit about Keon, see what he's all about. You already know Emory Hunt providing the analysis. He knows his raging Cajuns. I know that. So let's get the scouting report on somebody that played his college football at Louisiana. He's 5'9", 170. Emory's got his strengths listed as follows. The word feisty doesn't even begin to describe how active he is throughout the rep. He plays on the outside and does a good job of creating a tie-up at the line of scrimmage. Very good footwork and quickness to mirror and match receivers, which transitions well to playing inside as a slot corner. A click and close corner who does a good job of zooming to the ball, making it a challenge at the catch point for the wide receiver. He's a good blitzer off the edge, does a solid job in pursuing the run. Gave him an overall scouting grade of 75. You see all the different categories right there. Emory watched him in 2024 against Tulane. He also watched a game against Wake Forest and Appalachia State. Areas of improvement, according to Emory, working on developing his frame, as he's still a very lean 170 pounds, which shows up at the top of routes when receivers are able to create just enough separation with physicality. Still is an ankle shooter at times with regards to tackling, which leads to whiffs and miss attempts. Has to minimize that and flatline his consistency there. That is Emory Hunt's breakdown of the newest Raven, who's going to be scratching and clawing for one of those coveted undrafted rookie spots. They typically have one on this roster every year. And my God, if there was a year that I would not bet on a Ravens undrafted rookie making the roster, if there was ever a year, it would be this one. This roster and the back end as a bubble player is going to be Hunger Games-esque. There is that much talent. There is that much depth on this year's roster with not only 11 rookies that are going to be vying for position that were selected a couple weekends ago, but you got a lot of talent that's returning, a lot of players that are under contract, and the core has been kept intact. No doubt. So best of luck to him and all the other undrafted rookies that spent some time in Baltimore over the last week or so and that will continue to spend time in Baltimore. We went through the entire list, by the way, yesterday. I believe I actually have that full list just in case you guys haven't seen it yet. This was something that the Ravens released. The 17 undrafted rookie free agents, which includes Jason Jones, a 6'6" defensive tackle out of Auburn. Jeez. 6'6", 325. How about it? Jamal Banks, a wide receiver out of Nebraska. DeJuan Black, outside linebacker, Temple. And I'm not going to go through the entire list. Sam Pitts, a tight end out of Minnesota Duluth, 6'6", 248. That's somebody to watch. They like their camp bodies when it comes to tight ends. Congratulations to Kadir Ismail, by the way, son of Kadri, former Ravens Super Bowl champion, winning wide receiver, friend of the show. He is getting a chance right now to be in the building with the Vegas Raiders, Pete Carroll's new program that he's running. Kadir spent last summer and parts of last season in Baltimore. Wish the best for him. Would love to see him get a break. And, of course, I know a lot of you have been following along with the Nebraska nose tackle, Nash Hutmaker, particularly given Michael Pierce's retirement, and knowing that outside of Travis Jones right now, they don't have much of that position. He was participated in minicamp, wrestling background, a stud at that. Jeff Zarebek reporting that he was not listed among the signings as an undrafted free agent, but again, he did participate in minicamp for what that's worth. So something to be on the lookout. Got a super chat from Punk Cowboy earlier on that I missed. I'm just getting around to it now, so thank you, Punk. If the Wyoming kid ended up taking the starting role, would that change how you feel about how they handled Tucker? So first of all, they have a Wyoming kicker right now, undrafted player, who's getting a chance to be a part of the organization, at least for part of the offseason program. Tyler Loop is their kicker. I don't even think this scenario, honestly, Punk, I can't see it playing out. They're going to give Tyler every chance to prove himself when you spend 6th round draft capital on a kicker. It's Randy Brown's handpicked guy by all accounts. Randy's been a consultant, close confidant of John Harbaugh's for a long time. And much like Jerry Rosberg vouched for an undrafted Justin Tucker years ago coming out of Texas, it kind of felt, when you start to read the tea leaves a little bit, take it into consideration, it starts to feel pretty darn similar, the two different situations here between Tyler Loop now in 25 and Justin Tucker back in 2012? So hey, would love for you guys to go check out the Bobby Baltimore Discord server. It's a 24/7 hub for conversations surrounding Baltimore sports. And it's growing every day. We've got over 800 members. Want to get to 1,000 as soon as possible. You can click on the link that I'm about to drop into the live chat if you guys would like to join it. It's free. And it's also a direct way to contact me informally. You can hang out with other like-minded Baltimore sports fans. And as you can see right now on the screen share, there's a bunch of different chat rooms, like General, Maryland Terps across the board, Ravens football, Orioles baseball, Capitals hockey, which I believe their series begins tonight, does it not? The Stanley Cup playoffs roll on. You get a welcome update. There's announcements. There's all kinds of stuff. Would love for you to join it. Great way to get more involved in the channel. Great way to get more involved with other people that may hang out for parts of their days in the live chat. Got to be honest with you. Some of these late afternoons, man, these early evenings, 2 streams, off season, 5 a.m. wake ups for Jim. It's just, you just get to a point of being fried. And coming off 120 minutes last night, I'm going to cut you short, not even give you 35, but at least you got 34. Thanks for understanding. Sarah and I will be back. How about this guy? My guy. The guys of all guys. Now he's got me awake. Jake Asman, Jets content creator, kind enough to throw in a $5 super chat and light a fire under my ass because, yes, I have not yet turned on channel memberships, which is a problem. Jake says he went to go gift one, but you need to turn it on. Bobby Baltimore for life, born to create content and more, but I'll leave it at there. I will be seeing you this summer, whether it's in Vegas or whether it's in the Big Apple. Go check out his channel, ladies and gentlemen. This is the guy that makes it happen behind the scenes. And his dating life, by the way, is about to be enhanced mightily in the coming weeks and months, which I am very excited about. I'll let him. I'm not going to spoil his big news, but we're excited for you there, partner. With that, I will jump. Appreciate you, Jake. Appreciate you, Punk Cowboy, for the super chats. Quick one today. Some thoughts on Justin Tucker. We'll continue to follow that, but hopefully we were able to just turn a page at this point. And, of course, some thoughts on the new corner and also what's going on right now, potentially behind the scenes with the negotiations of Derrick Henry's contract extension. Catch up with you guys tomorrow, Wednesday, 12 noon. Brent Pry, Virginia Tech Hokies head coach, who coached and mentored Aeneas Peebles, the new defensive tackle in Baltimore, joins us live on the vault, 12:30. He'll be the first active head coach to join us as a featured guest inside the vault. I look forward to that. Hope you guys do as well. Like the video on your way out. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. Hit that notification bell and catch up with us tomorrow. Thanks, guys. Appreciate the love. Talk to you soon.